Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Ray and welcome to my channel. Here I'm going to share with you my favorite weekly recipes to hopefully inspire you guys to cook along with me. So if you're into that, maybe consider subscribing and don't forget the bell button so you can join me in on this journey. And for the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about this super simple yet underrated ingredient, eggs. It is a super versatile yet humble ingredient that is often underrated but actually holds so much potential in taking your everyday cooking to the next level. So specifically today we're gonna be talking about cured eggs. That's right, this is cured egg yolk guys. These little gems pack so much flavors, it can be used in almost any scenario. You can grate them on pasta, rice, salad, you name it guys. It is going to take your everyday cooking to the next level for sure. So enough talking, let me show you how I made mine. Let's cook. So first, we need to make our curry mix. I'm gonna be using 60% salt and 40% sugar for the mix because I feel like this gives you the right balance between sweet and saltiness. But of course, you can adjust this to your taste. Since I'm using 300 grams of salt, I'm gonna need 200 grams of sugar. Basically, you calculate that by dividing the amount of salt by 60 and multiplying it by 40. That will give you the 40% ratio for the sugar. Now we'll also need some spices. I'm using black pepper, Szechuan pepper, Dashi powder, bay leaves, as well as some sumac. The amount is really up to you, but I'm gonna put my exact recipe in the description box below. And while you're down there, why don't you help me by clicking the like, share, and subscribe button because that will help me a lot. Thanks! So going back to our recipe, we need to grind our spices to a powdery consistency like this, mix them with the salt and sugar, then add half of our curry mix into a container, making sure you add them in one even layer. Oh, by the way, for the spice mix, you can really add anything you like, but I would recommend using a combination of something citrusy, umami, spicy, and peppery. I find that using this combination really complements the fattiness of the egg yolk, giving your cured yolk a really unique flavor profile. Next, we need to make some indentations in our curry mix using the bottom of our egg, which will be the nestling spot for our egg yolks. Gently separate your egg yolk from the whites and carefully lay them onto the nestling spot. And I would say that this recipe is suitable for you adrenaline junkies out there because man, doing this 4 times in a row, my heart really almost couldn't take it. I'm telling you guys, it skips a beat every single time. So once you've successfully done this, cover the top of your egg yolks using the rest of the mixture, making sure you cover everything nicely. You really want to take your time with this and make sure there is no surface uncovered. Then just loosely close your container and leave it in the fridge for 4 days. Checking every single day and make sure there is no wet spots like this. And if you do find it, just recover them with the rest of your mixture if you have anything left, or you can make a new one. Basically, you want to make sure the topmost portion of your curing mix is dry at all time. So after 4 days in the fridge, you can excavate your egg yolks from the mixture. Your egg yolks now should already harden and should have a really similar consistency to a gummy bear. Now you have to clean up most of the salt and also some hardened bits of egg whites that's still attached, and just gently rinse them in some cold water until you get something like this. Look at how pretty that is. Now just place it on a wire rack and do the same with the rest. And next we will need to dehydrate these egg yolks further, and for that you'll need either a dehydrator or an oven. If you have a dehydrator, you can set it to 60 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 hours, or if you don't have one, you can use an oven like I do here. And if your oven doesn't go as low as 60 degrees, you can set it at 100 degrees, but just leave the door slightly open by using a wooden spatula like this. And basically what you're aiming for is for your egg yolk to be as hard as Parmesan cheese. And after it's done from the oven, just lay them down on a piece of paper towel like this to soak up excess fat that's dripping out of it, and let it cool down in the fridge so it's easier to grate. Basically, you want to be able to grate it like a Parmesan cheese like this. And whichever piece you're not using yet, just place them in an airtight container and you can leave it in the fridge for up to a month. That's pretty much it guys for the cured egg yolk part of this recipe. Now let me show you what I like to do with these. First option is to grate it on pasta like I'm doing today. I love adding this to a simple aglio olio like this because it brings an extra layer of unique flavor to the dish, as well as a little bit of creaminess. So here's my super simple aglio olio recipe. This is by no means traditional, this is like a shortcut aglio olio, and I pack flavors into this aglio olio by using bacon fat instead of normal oil. I'm gonna be using my homemade bacon today. If you're interested in the recipe, I'm gonna put the link up here so you can go check that out after this. But basically, as per usual, you wanna start your bacon in a cold pan. It will allow you to render as much fat as possible from the bacon and making the bacon extra crispy. And as soon as you start with the bacon, you want to start boiling your pasta water as well. And while waiting for those two, you want to thinly slice some garlic and chives. This is a 15 minutes recipe, so you want to multitask as much as possible. Next, you'll want to generously salt your pasta water. This is probably the most important key to making a great pasta. You need to make sure that your water is about as salty as seawater. And while waiting for the water to boil, don't forget to stir around your bacon. And as soon as the water started boiling, you can add in your pasta and just move it around with tongs until you can fit it in a pot. As for the type of pasta itself, you can use any pasta you like, but today I'm using linguine because that's what I have. I would usually use thin spaghetti pasta for this recipe, but I just ran out of it, so this will do. So by this time your bacon should be properly crispy like that, and you can start adding in your garlic and chili flakes to your bacon. And we're just gonna stir fry them for about a minute or until the garlic start turning brown like that, at which point you can turn off the heat and wait for the pasta to cook. As soon as the pasta is al dente, you can add it straight into the garlic bacon mixture along with a little bit of the pasta water to emulsify with the bacon fat, creating a silky, gorgeous aglio olio sauce that coats your pasta properly. Then just mix them well over medium heat. The heat will help the bacon fat to emulsify and stick to the pasta better. And of course, if you feel the pasta is a bit too dry, you can add a little bit more of that pasta water. And basically just mix them well until the pasta is coated properly. Then finally add in the chives and give it one final good toss. And that's pretty much it. You can start plating your lunch, guys. It's that simple. And last but not least, you can top it with the star of the show today, our grated cured egg yolk. And maybe a bit more chili flakes. And probably a bit more egg yolk if you don't have self-restraint like me. But you get the point. You're the master of your pasta. And that is it, guys. Look at how gorgeous that is. And all this in just 15 minutes. Man, you're gonna love this recipe. I know I do. It's so nice and flavorful from the bacon fat mixed with the garlic, and plus adding that grated egg yolk on top really takes this dish to another level. So yeah, I end up using the whole egg yolk. No regrets there. It is just that good, guys. It's so addictive. But yeah, other than the obvious one like pasta like this, I also sometimes like to add it on top of my fried rice. This is a snippet from my egg fried rice recipe that's coming up. So if you want to see this recipe, please make sure you subscribe so you know when it's out. But yeah, I really like this combo, egg fried rice with fried egg on top, plus that grated egg yolk, creating the ultimate egg on egg on egg action. I mean, seriously guys, can you really tell me that you're not intrigued by this recipe? If you're interested, it's coming up next week. But yeah, that is basically it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you do. And see you all next week. Cheers, guys!